Hey friends, in case you don't already know me, I am Erin Stephanie, fearless leader for the highly awesome over at erinstephanie.com. I've got something that I've been working on for the last couple months that I wanted to share with you, but first I need to tell you a little story. Once upon a time, in a land deep, deep within, there lived a beautiful young princess and her father, the king. The princess was the most beautiful human on earth, and her heart as pure as gold. She had everything she needed within the kingdom walls, but always knew that there was something more for her, even if she wasn't sure what that was. One day, the innocent princess ventured off into the forest on her own. She left with the intention to pick wildflowers for the people of the kingdom, not knowing that so much more awaited her in the depths of the woodlands. Dancing through the brilliant hues of the wildflowers, listening to the birdsong and singing crickets, she allowed herself to be tempted by the deeper parts of the grove, calling her further into its mystery. The trees became darker, sunlight fading behind their massive trunks, until vines and thorns grabbed at her skirt, pulling her deep into the depths of its shadows. Terrified and alone, the princess tried to call out for help, but her voice was stolen by the wind. She fainted from panic and lay cold and alone on the forest floor. Out from the shadows stepped the most exquisite animal in all the land, the unicorn. This creature was known to be the healer of all things, with its magical spiraled horn, and it had been hunted by men for centuries. However, it remained elusive, protecting itself from those who sought to harm it, and had never been tamed nor captured, as it knew to only show itself to those pure of heart like it. The unicorn gazed quietly at the sleeping princess, recognizing her kindness and innocence, and slowly moved towards her in the dark forest. Just as it thought, the unicorn saw that the princess was the purest of heart human, thus being a safe person to show itself to. It laid its head down on the princess's lap and rested with her until she awoke. Startled by a sound in the forest, the princess roused suddenly, not realizing the unicorn was with her. The two creatures studied one another, acknowledging the piece of themselves in the other, and silently made an agreement to travel back to the kingdom together. Safe on the unicorn's back, the princess was carried out of the dark forest, and her understanding of this creature grew stronger as they got closer to home. Arriving at the palace, almost immediately they were surrounded by the people of the kingdom, watching in awe as the two stunning creatures entered the courtyard together. Laying eyes on the unicorn, the king's men were eager to at last have a chance to slay the mystical creature and use its magical horn. At the sight of their swords, the princess threw her arms around the unicorn and cried out for them to stop and stand back. The king heard the commotion and came out of the palace to see what was wrong. Begging her father, the princess asked that he call off the men, telling the king how she was lost in the forest, scared and alone, and that the unicorn was the only one who had saved her. The king did just that, and his men lowered their weapons in retreat. He hugged his daughter, relieved she had arrived home safe after such a scare, and thanked the unicorn for returning her safely. As he gazed into the luminous blue eyes of the creature, he saw a soul purer than any other on the planet. Any other, that is, than his daughter. He realized and understood exactly in that moment why the two had crossed paths, not only saving the princess, but the unicorn as well. In that moment, the king deemed the unicorn a protected animal, forbidding anyone to ever hunt it again. A final thank you, and the unicorn and princess parted ways physically, their connection staying strong, creating ripples of powerful energy throughout the planet, to be felt by all who sought the magic. The end, yet just the beginning. As I wrote my version of this story, I remember having brain pops and bursts of inspiration. These came in the forms of pictures, and I remember seeing each of these characters as different ways that we play out the stories that we tell on ourselves about our business and our lives. For example, the princess in the story. You might be wondering, why would this princess who has everything that she could possibly need leave the kingdom and go out to search for more? There is a part in all of us as sensitives that know that we are here for more. Regardless of what cushy job we have, or a nice home, or beautiful family, or wonderful relationships, we still know that there is something more, something that we are here to do. That is our mission and our purpose. It takes us into what I call the dark forest. This dark forest is a space where we have our breakdowns and we learn more about ourselves, and we notice the places that we are really meant to stand in this life and probably through our business. These are the places that have been our downfalls and our greatest lessons in learning. Next is the unicorn. The unicorn is within all of us. It's not something that's outside of us that we need to go get somewhere else. You're not going to find your unicorn in your degree. You're not going to find your unicorn from a certificate that somebody gave you telling you that you were able to do this. This is inside of you. This has been inside of you ever since you came to this planet, and this is why you're here. So noticing that princess and the unicorn connection tells you exactly what it is that you're here for. And as we come back to the kingdom, we meet the king, we notice that connection, and we see its power. We want to know how to take that power and that energy and that mission and express it out into the world. And this is done through the king's men. These are the ways that you show up in the world. These are the ways that you send out your messages in your business. This could be the way that you put out social media, the way that you write. This is all how you get your message out into the world. So there we have it. We've got the princess, the unicorn, the dark forest, the king, and the king's men. Now, the way that I do this is that I am a narrator. So I'm not here to tell you the story as it's written for you. My clients are the storytellers. You get to choose which direction you go. My job as the narrator is to tell you how I see it from the outside. Sometimes we need somebody who is outside of the picture, outside of the story that we've created, outside of the way that we are playing out those characters in our life and our business. And that's my job. I'm here to tell you what I see. I narrate what you're doing, and I let you know. And with your help, obviously, we work together to find out where you are in the story right now and how we get you to that next spot. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to stay in one spot, or you're always going to be in one spot, or you're always just needing to get to that last spot and then it's done. This is a continual story. So we are always working through this story. Every time that we level up in our business, we go to the princess because we know there's more. Every time that we discover a deeper depth of our gifts, we might have to go back to the dark forest, and we might need to reconnect with that unicorn. But the goal is to let you know that you are in charge. You can create the story that you want for your life, for your business, and you can have fun doing it. So that's a little bit about me and my work. That's a bit about what it is that I offer for you through this Unicorn Business Academy. And if it's something that speaks to you and you're looking for something that's outside of the box, completely different, and gives you the way to play and have fun while creating the business that is built on your passions, your purpose, and your desires, then check out the link below. And let's have a conversation. I would love to get to know you better and see how we can write your story in a way that serves you. Thank you.